Hello, welcome back. My name is Stephanie with Easy Codes for Kids. This is a Scratch tutorial, not for beginners, and this is going to be super fun. If you are just starting out, go ahead and check out some of my other links that might be a little bit easier for you if you have never done Scratch before. If you are a Scratcher and you're interested in learning this really super fun catching game, well, join me. Move ahead. Let's go. Let's do this. Okay, this is the game we are playing today. So you avoid the black baseballs and you try and catch the different colored ones under 10 seconds and get to 15 and you win. Pretty easy. And you just use the arrow keys right and left on your keyboard to go ahead and scoop up those colorful baseballs. So let's play again, see if I can win. I didn't win. My score's only 2. In 10 seconds, I need to get it to 15. Oops. So if I catch a black baseball, it subtracts 5 from my score. The colorful baseballs are all just 1 point. Whoops. I'm not going to win. Never say never. Oh, no. Never. Oh, no. I am really not going to win. -6. I think I did better when I was like not really trying. Let's play again. Okay. Wow. I am really terrible. Whoa. And I built this game. Come on now. Come on, Steph. Oh, no. Oh, boy, that hurts. Hurts. Oh, come on, Steph. Come on. Oh, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. Yay! And so it pops up you won when you get the score 15 under 10 seconds. Okay? So 15 points under 10 seconds. That is the objective of our baseball game. And it is actually pretty hard because the black baseballs are -5 and the colorful baseballs are only 1, and they are moving pretty quickly downward. Okay? Awesome. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to get rid of Scratch Cat. Bye-bye. So just go down here and click on this X. Bye. And we are going to pick a catcher sprite. So down in the bottom right-hand corner of my screen, I hover upon choose a sprite. And it's going to give me all these awesome characters to choose from. So I'm going to go down here and get this gal right here. So she has lots of different movements, which we are not going to use. We're just going to have her sit there and catch. And we're going to want to move her left and right to catch the baseballs as they're floating down. Just want her to go right and left. So we want to say, okay, events, when green flag is clicked, let me move in a little bit. When green flag is clicked, we are going to go and do a little motion here. And our little motion is going to be go to X. So go to X and let's just start her off at a position. So let's do -30 by -129. So we're just starting her right there at those X and Y coordinates, no problem. And then let's make a forever loop that makes her run back and forth in this little catching position and catch the balls as they're coming down at us. So forever, if we are going to say left arrow is pressed, change X by -10. And if right arrow is pressed, change by +10. So she's just going to, that means on the X coordinate, she's going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to try and catch these balls that are hurling down at her. Okay, so now we need to tell her the keys. So we're going to go into sensing and we're going to go ahead and put in, if this key is pressed, then do this. So if left arrow is pressed, then go into our motion, change X by -10. Make sense?
Now, let's make another if. If ba, ba, da, ba, right arrow is pressed, change x by 10. Okay, so let's go ahead and try this out. So play. She's starting right down here where we told her on these x and y coordinates. Now let's press our left arrow. Okay, awesome. She changes by -10. Let's press our right arrow. She changes by +10. Press, 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 press. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is let's create a baseball and let's have this be our negative baseball. So, our baseball, if you click it, if she catches it, our points are going to go down. And we haven't made points or timer yet, but let's go ahead and make this black baseball sprite. So, I'm going to go down here into my right bottom screen and I'm going to hit choose a sprite. Okay, here is my baseball. Let me go ahead and grab that. And here it is right here. Awesome. Now, the first thing I want to do is I don't want it to be a white baseball. So I'm going to go into costumes. And in fill, I'm going to go ahead and drag this all the way over. Drag. Okay. And I'm going to hit my fill bucket. And I'm going to do click, click. Okay, so now this guy is black. Awesome. Now I'm going to go into code. Let's give him some life. The first thing that I want to do is say, go into my events. When green flag is clicked, I want to forever change his position. So that's the very first thing that we're going to grab. So I go into control, make a forever loop because this game is just going to go on and on forever and ever. All right, so the first thing that I wanted him to do is I want him to start coming down. So this is X, moving side to side. That's what our catcher does, move side to side in X. And our baseball moves down in a Y coordinate. X, Y, X, Y. Fabulous. Okay, so let's go into our motion. And let's look for Y. Change Y. Change Y by. Change Y by. Let's start off with -9. So pretty quickly, this ball is going to move down. It's going to go down very quickly, actually. -9 is going to make it hurl down from space. Awesome. But we can't just leave it at that. We have to do an if statement saying go to a random position. So the ball is always changing. Okay. So let's do if statement because we want the ball to fly down at us randomly. So we never know where it's going to land. If Y position, Y position, Y position. If Y position, so if we need to get an operator here. All right, let's get greater than. Okay, so if Y position, so this means if Y position is greater than or less than, if Y position is less than -170, then we're going to go to random position. Put this right here. Okay, so that's how fast it's going to fly down. If Y position is less than -170, then we want it to go to random position and then go to +180. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit random position because we want this ball to fly down any old way that it wants to go. So we're always surprised by it because that's the fun of the game. And then we want it to set it to 180. All right, so let's see. You'll see. You'll see. All right, 180. Okay, awesome. Let's go ahead and try this out. Okay, so see how it's coming down quickly? That's that -9. And see how it is only coming down on the y-axis. Awesome, because this is y, and this is x, and this is y, and this is x. And then it's going to random position. It's looping because it's in a forever loop. And then it's setting to 180. So it is resetting itself all the time. And then running to a negative or running to a random position. Now, we want to go ahead and set up a point system so that when our catcher touches it, something happens. And I think the something should be negative points, right? Because we don't want to catch this baseball. And I think that we should also make a sound. And that's it. We just need to add those two things, sound and negative points. Okay, awesome. Okay, so we have our baseball that is coming down and our our catcher that is going right and left. So let's go ahead and actually add something fun and make this actually into a game. So we're going to do an if-then statement. If the black baseball touches the catcher, then we're going to play a sound and then we're going to change the score. So we're going to make a variable called score. And then the baseball is going to go to a random position. Okay, easy, 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 easy. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is go to variable. And then we want to go to make a variable. And the variable name is just going to be score. And hit OK. And all right, so we created a variable called score, and it's right here. It's already showing up in our game. Now let's go ahead and create another if-then statement. So let's go into our controls, and let's go into if-then, and drag it underneath our first if-then statement. Now, we need a sensing block. And the sensing block is going to say, if something is touching the catcher, then this. So let's grab this guy right here. Put him right here. If something is touching the catcher, then what is going to happen? Well, a couple of things. We want a sound to play. We want the score to change. And then we want the black baseball to go to a random position so our game is fun. Okay, so first things first, let's go to a sound. And instead of pop, let's go into our sounds and see what else we can find. So come up here and hit this X. We don't want the pop sound. We want something more fun. So go down here in your bottom left and hit choose a sound. And I already have a sound in mind. It's called bass beatbox. And listen to it. So it sort of is like not such a great sound, and you don't want a good sound because it's not a good thing when you catch the black baseball. Not a good thing. It's going to be a negative point system with the black baseball. This is going to be a penalty. Okay. So if our ball is touching the catcher, then we want to play the bass beat box until done. And then we want to change the score. So go into variables and look for change. And it's going to be change my variable by 1. So my variable score is going to be -5. So you're penalized when you catch this black baseball. Okay. Then the next thing we want the baseball to do is to go ahead and go to a random position. So let's go ahead into the blue motion and gather our random position. We want the game to continue to play, and we'll set Y by 180. So set Y to 180. So it goes back to a good position and the game keeps playing. So let's go ahead and see what happens when we hit play. Good. And the score changed. -10. Oops, I missed that one. -15. -20. Look how fast I am with my counting by fives. I'm fabulous. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is let's go ahead and create some colorful baseballs. We'll just create one and then we'll go ahead and duplicate them so we don't have to do the same work over and over again. So down here in our sprite window at the bottom right, go ahead and click choose a sprite. Okay, now let's go ahead and choose baseball. And there's another baseball right there. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to run through this code again. And it's basically the same code as the black baseball, except we want the points to go up and we want a different sound. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and try and zoom in a little bit. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is click our events. And we're going to go ahead and grab when flag is clicked. Let's grab a forever loop, which will loop around everything because we want this game to go on and on forever, ever and ever and ever. Okay, the first thing that we want to do is we want to decide how fast do we want this baseball to float downward. So let's go ahead and make it pretty quick. So let's go ahead and do Y, change Y by -8. So right here, change X by, whoops, we don't want to change X by, change Y because we want it to fall downward by -8. And that's going to make it go pretty fast. Now we're going to put an if then statement to make it keep moving correctly. So let's go into, whoops, control. We're going to do if then underneath that change -8. If Y position is less than -170, then go to random position and set Y to 180. So that just means when it scrolls down, we want it to scroll back up again and go down and up and down and up in a random sequence. So it actually is a fun game. Oh. Okay, so we need an operator and we're going to do less than. I was calling this greater than. It's less than. And we're going to do Y position, which I think is not sensing. It is in our motion. It's down here. I saw it. Get over here. Y position. Woohoo! Negative. If it's -170, what should we do? We're going to go to random position and then set Y to 180. So we'll go into our motion again. This is like my favorite block ever. Go to random position and then set Y by 180. So this is just telling the white baseball how to move. Now, if the catcher catches the white baseball, what is going to happen? So we need another if statement. Let's go into our controls. And we're going to grab this if then statement and put it right underneath our first if then statement. Okay, so if we need something sensing now, if touching the catcher, then what happens? So sensing. So not mouse pointer, but if touching catcher, then we want a sound. We want to change the score. Then we want it to go to random position and keep falling downward again. Okay. So let's go to sounds. Now we have that funky sound for the black baseball, but we don't want that sound, nor do we want this pop sound. I want a chomp sound. So I get rid of that first pop sound, then I go down bottom left-hand corner and click on choose a sound. Okay. And chomp. Oh, that's a cool one. All right, let's go ahead and click on that one. Now go back into our code and go ahead and put play chomp until done, and then change score. So we're going to go ahead and go into variables and change my variable. So instead of my variable, let's go ahead and change it. And actually, we can leave it by 1. So change score by 1. That means every time this little gal catches a white baseball or any of the baseballs that we're going to make that are different colors, the score is going to go up by 1. Now, I'd like to also throw in here a motion that makes the baseballs more fun to watch. So let's go ahead and do a turning motion, and then we'll go ahead and reset it so it comes back up and goes to a random position. So let's turn. Okay, so turn by 90 degrees. We'll turn to the left, and then we're going to set Y to 180 again. So it goes up, and then it'll come down, and it will come down in a weird random position, and we'll have no idea, and it'll actually be a fun game. Okay, awesome. So let's try it out. All right, so it's moving a little slowly. That's okay. I'll have to figure that out, why it's moving too slowly. But I think the score is working. Let's see. All right, so it's making that chomp sound, and it's setting our score, changing our score by 1 in a positive direction. And is it turning? It's not turning, though. We'll have to figure out why it's not turning. I'm going to go ahead and take this turn out then. And I think I know what the problem is. I'm going to go ahead and change set Y right there back to 180. And all I did was take that rotation out, because I'm going to go ahead and tack that on at the end. Okay, awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and make 2 backdrops as our next step. 2 backdrops. So I go into the bottom right hand of my screen into my backdrops area, and I'm going to go ahead and click choose a backdrop. And for my first backdrop, I'm just going to go ahead and choose blue sky. And there's my lovely blue sky. Now I'm going to go to my costumes tab because I want to add some directions. I'm going to click my blue sky. I want to add some directions to my blue sky. Okay, so I want to say how to basically play my game. And so I'm going to go ahead and hit my text button there, and I am going to choose my color. My text color is black. And I'm going to sort of start over a little bit towards the middle, and I'm going to write hi catchers, exclamation point. You have only 10 seconds to catch 15 baseballs. Okay, the next thing that we're going to write is warning, don't catch the black baseballs. Now, so this is going to be a nice little piece of directions for everybody playing our game. So, hi catchers, you have only 10 seconds to catch 15 baseballs. Warning, don't catch the black baseballs. In my black background, I'm going to add game over, press green flag to play again. Okay, this is a preview of the next thing that we are doing, which is creating a sprite called U1. So, sprite name U1. Okay, so this is just a little bit of a preview of U1 because this is a very important part of our game. So, we are going to basically with the U1 sprite, when the green flag is clicked, we're going to hide everything and we're going to switch to the backdrop of blue sky. Then we're going to set the score to 0 and set the timer to 0. Then in a forever loop, we are going to change the timer and it's going to go, it's just going to give us 10 seconds. When it hits 10 seconds, our backdrop is going to switch to black. And then we have a little piece of our score over here as well. So when green flag is clicked, if the score is less than 14 or greater than 14, it's going to show this U1 sprite. And then it's going to stop everything else. Okay, awesome. Now let's go ahead and create that piece by piece. Okay, so let's go down here. We're going to go ahead and create that very important U1 sprite. So go down here into choose a sprite, and let's just go ahead and click on paint. And so we're going to go ahead and use our text in black to say you won! Exclamation point. We'll put it right in the middle. See that little crosshair? We're going to sort of drag it right in the middle there. Okay, now let's go into the code. And the first thing that we want to do is go to events. When green flag is clicked, we are going to hide a backdrop. La la la, hide. Don't come out until we tell you when to come out. And then we're going to switch backdrop to not black, but blue sky. Okay? Then we're going to set our score to 0. Okay. And we have to set our timer to 0. So we don't have a timer yet, so let's go ahead and make a variable called timer and hit OK. And so we want to go here. And instead of set my variable, set timer. And we're going to tell the timer what to do in just a second. All right, the next thing that we want to do is grab a forever loop. Now, we want to start a wait game. And our wait is going to tell us what to do as far as timing is concerned. So wait 1 second, then we're going to change the timer. So back into our variables, change timer. I think you know where we're going with this. Change timer by 1. So this 1 second will make our timer change by 1. Okay? All right, now we want to add another wait 1 second after our change timer by 1. And then we are going to add a forever. And then we're going to add an if-then statement about the timer. All right, so let's go into our operators. And let's pick this equal. Can you see where we're going? See where we're driving at? Okay, so let's do if our timer equals 10, then guess what? Time's up. We're going to switch to our backdrop that we just made, which is black, because the game is over. And it says game over on our black backdrop. Then we're going to stop everything. We're going to go to variables. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to go to control. And we're going to stop all of our events. Okay, so we have hide when the green flag is clicked. So everything is hidden except the blue sky. We set our timer, or excuse me, we set our score to 0, and then we set our timer to 0. In this forever loop, we have wait a second, then change timer by 1, then wait a second. Now, and so that's going to give our contestants, our game players, a timer countdown. And the timer is going to go from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And when it reaches 10, it's going to switch the backdrop to black, which says game over. And then it's going to say stop all. Okay. Now we want to do one more thing, and that is we are going to add our score. So let's go into events. And when green flag is clicked, let's do a forever loop here. Forever and ever and ever. Forever. Forever is a long time. Let's do an if then. We need an operator in a greater than. So we're going to do, if the score is greater than 14, you won. I just let the cat out of the bag. I know, it's so suspenseful to see what I'm going to do next. If score is greater than 14, then show this little sprite. You won! Right? And then stop all. And give the people a chance to play again. If they dare. So let's play. Oh, I accidentally put a bow tie in there. What the heck? All right, 4. Score seems to be working, and I'm just terrible. I am just not winning at all. Okay, come on, come on, win, win, win. Win, win, win. I only have, oh, I am not going to win. Definitely not going to win. Game over. Yay! Oh, why am I cheering? I lost. But game over worked. Yay! Okay, the next thing that I want to do is I want to make more baseballs so our game actually becomes pretty competitive. So I go here to baseball 2, and I right click and I hit duplicate. And the first thing that I want to do with baseball number 3 is I'm going to turn it red. So I'm going to go to my fill bucket and go ahead and click on turn my color red, deep red, and click to make it red. Awesome. Now, I don't want the exact same code in my black baseball as in, or in my white baseball as in my red baseball. So let's go over into the code of the red baseball. And this has been duplicated. It's the exact same thing that is in the white baseball. So let's go ahead and change that up a little bit. So instead of change Y, let me zoom in a little bit. Instead of change Y by -8, let's make it go a little slower. So change Y by -4. And if it's touching the catcher, it will play the chomp sound. Change the score by 1. And we'll set Y to, it will go back to 180. Okay, perfect. That looks pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and right click and duplicate this guy. First thing we want to do is change his color. Let's go into the fill bucket and let's move a little bit over more into the orange. Awesome. Oops, I changed one of his little stitches. That's okay. Let's go into the code. And instead of change Y by -4, let's do change Y by -5. Let's duplicate him. Let's make this guy yellow. So go into costumes, fill bucket, move it on over. Awesome. Perfect. Ooh, you can see the little orange stitch. Okay, and let's do a pink baseball. So you know the drill. Right click, duplicate. Oh wait, let's go back into code here. Instead of change by -5, let's do change by -3. Okay, right click, duplicate. Instead of change by -3, let's do change by -9. So that'll go super fast. Costumes, and let's make this guy yellow. Or instead of yellow, let's make this guy pink. It's like more like a fuchsia. Awesome. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good baseballs, 1 bad baseball. Let's go ahead and click on our bad baseball and right click and duplicate our bad baseball. Awesome. So we have 2 bad baseballs that are coming down towards our catcher and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good ones. So 5 good baseballs that will give us points and 2 bad baseballs that will subtract points. And let's check our code on this bad baseball here. Yep, and his score is going to be -5. Awesome. So let's stop and play our game.
It's not moving.
Don't hit the black baseball.
Well,
Come on, you can do this. You're going to win. Just get more than you do. You're going to do it. You won! Yay! Good job.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Good.
Thank